So just in case you didn't know, when a country attacks another sovereign nation and then kidnaps the president and the president's wife of that nation and now claims they're going to run that nation, that literally goes against one, Congress, and two, the United Nations. See, when things like this happen, we're supposed to tell our allies that we're going to do it, and then we vote on it. The UN right now is saying the United States should have no vote in any matter whatsoever anymore until Donald Trump gets his shit together or otherwise. Not only that, but because China, Iran, and Russia are three of Venezuela's biggest importers of their oil, they're now going to be running dry, therefore being pulled into direct conflict with the United States military, aka a war. So, not only was this illegal, immoral, and unethical, but it's going to completely turn our own allies against us, which we see that happening in real time, and have our biggest enemies now pushing forward towards us. This is literally going to be World War fucking III.
I'm not even going to play around anymore. Hit me with the works. Iraq, Venezuela, go!
We're giving them full opportunity to do it the easy way. And when it doesn't work, we'll do it the hard way.
If we could do things the easy way, that's fine. And if we have to do it the hard way, that's fine too.
Chemical weapons is a threat to the United States.
Fentanyl poses a chemical weapons threat to the United States.
Al-Qaeda terrorists inside Iraq.
Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere.
If we can get rid of Saddam, it could really begin to transform the region.
There's an opportunity to transform the entire region.
Bringing freedom and democracy.
Democracy and freedom can serve as a
beacon of hope.
Shock.
China, North Korea, Iran, Cuba, Chile, and many other countries are threatening to go to war over Maduro's kidnapping. Each of these countries are condemning Trump, with Cuba saying they're ready to spill blood over this. And it doesn't just end there, because these nations are also recruiting other nations to join them against pushing back against the United States. And it doesn't help that just yesterday, Trump threatened to go after Cuba and do the same to their leader, as well as Colombia, Greenland, and many more. And this all happened yesterday, but today he's saying we now need Greenland for our national security. Let's take a look at this clip.
We need Greenland for national security, not for minerals. We have so many sites for minerals and oil and everything. We have more oil than any other country in the world. We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place.
Let's take a couple looks at this. Trump is isolating himself and Americans from the rest of the world, making enemies of the rest of the world. So how does he think this is going to end when everybody is against what he's doing and he's threatening to invade all of these sovereign nations? The kidnapping of Maduro is simply an example and a message to send to everybody else. But America's own sovereignty is now being threatened in return, because Cuba and Venezuela have vowed to give blood over this if Maduro is not returned, and Colombia is implying the same thing. Now, something that is absolutely mind-blowing is that it is alleged that this was one of the final straws for Trump to want to go kidnap him. This information is coming straight from New York Times, and it was Maduro dancing doing Trump's dance, and Trump's team looked at it as him mocking them. Aside from oil, this was a battle of the egos. Take a look at this clip. And here are statements coming directly from Trump's team about this. Mr. Maduro's regular public dancing and other displays of nonchalance in recent weeks helped persuade some of the Trump team that the Venezuelan president was mocking them and trying to call what he believed a bluff, according to two of the people who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to talk about the confidential discussions, so the White House decided to follow through on its military threats. The terrible thing for the Trump administration is it's not other countries banding against Trump, it's also his own citizens. So JD Vance put out a statement. However, we know we cannot trust a single word that comes out of JD Vance's mouth. However, we can break down exactly what he's trying to say and see how much panic they're really trying to hide beneath the surface. You see a lot of claims that Venezuela has nothing to do with drugs because most of the fentanyl comes from elsewhere. I want to address this. First off, fentanyl is not the only drug in the world, and there is still fentanyl coming from Venezuela, or at least there was. Second, cocaine, which is the main drug traffic out of Venezuela, is the profit center for all of the Latin American cartels. If you cut out the money from cocaine, you substantially weaken the cartels overall. Also, cocaine is bad too.
Trump is now essentially saying, we're going to do this to other countries. Here are the next ones in the line.
Yes.
What do you think that does to the attitude about America of every other country in the world?
No, the only other countries in the world that it affects at all are the 3 or 4 that he's already named.
He said we can do it to anybody. No one can stop us.
Yeah, we can do it to anybody, but we won't. We'll do it to those 4. And I'm raising my hand to take Somalia to the bottom of the earth.
This is Hitler shit.
No, it is not, Haley. It's making our country better
taking down the bad guys. You have to take down the bad guys for peace.
We are the bad guys.
No, we're not.
When General Raising Cane got up there during the presser and was explaining the details and how it went down, I had goosebumps. I was like, our country's back. We have a president willing to do what he's supposed to do to help our country.
To steal oil from another country?
How he said every branch of the army was involved. The helicopters.
It's people like you who have made our country weak as shit.
America just quietly dropped a new global doctrine. It basically says, we're not the world's police anymore. Jeez, finally. We're the boss of our own hemisphere and everyone else can deal with theirs. On December 5th, the White House released Trump's new national security strategy. Inside the document is something they're already calling the Trump corollary to the old Monroe Doctrine. Translation, the United States is already declaring dominance over the Western Hemisphere. North America, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. He's basically saying that this is our neighborhood, our rules. At the same time, it signals something huge. America is stepping back from trying to manage every crisis on the planet. Here's the core of it. America first, but not just the slogan, as the actual blueprint. The strategy says that the US is done acting like a global babysitter, and instead wants to be a regional superpower at home with select pressure overseas. It talks about sovereignty, borders, migration, cartels, critical minerals, energy, not spreading democracy or building global institutions. And in Europe, the document literally talks about civilization erasure, mass migration, and cultural collapse. It basically tells Europe, you're on your own. In the Americas, this doctrine means cracking down on cartels and narco-terror groups, pushing back hard on China's influence in Latin America, and trying to stabilize countries down south so mass migration doesn't end up on US border. In Europe, leaders are freaking out. French and EU leaders are calling it brutal and a declaration of political war, because it blows up the old idea that America will always bail out Europe first. And on Russia and China, this doctrine quietly accepts a world of spheres of influence, meaning that it acknowledges that there are only 3 global powers, the US, Russia, and China. The goal is to avoid a giant global war by not trying to run everything anymore. So here's the question, is this smart realism where we're admitting that we can't police the entire planet, or is it dangerous because it gives Russia, China, and Iran more room to operate in their own backyards? Does America get stronger when it focuses on its own hemisphere, or weaker if it stops acting like the glue that holds the old world order together?
Members of Congress were briefed yesterday that a war is coming, and it'll be announced in the address to the nation tonight at 9 o'clock by the president. A member of Congress told me that this morning. So that's what I know.
They started the process for impeachment. They started the process for impeachment. I am going to tell you right now, they will send us into a world war and a civil war before they see another court date. I am going to lay this prediction out as flat as it can be. We are going to war to avoid these charges. In the next couple of days, Petey Boy is about to do something reckless in order for it not to even come about. And Dookie Ookie Donald Trump is going to take the opportunity of following his path so that he also doesn't go down for the Epstein files. They're losing the entire storyline. And because it's blowing up in their face, they're about to do something so heinous to make sure that it doesn't. That attack Candace was talking about? It's making more sense now.
Can't shake the feeling that it increasingly feels ridiculous to do just basic things like go to work and shave and brush my teeth and go to the gym. It just feels so stupid to do considering what is about to come. We are going to invade Greenland. That seems to be 100% the case unless somehow we can get Trump out of office, which I don't think we'll be able to do. When we invade Greenland, NATO will dissolve, and there will be no ally to America left in this world. That'll be it. You will no longer take your European vacations. You will no longer have goods that are imported from other countries. There will be an absolute embargo on the United States. People will starve. The economy will crumble. Your brothers, your sisters, your daughters, your sons will go fight in a massive war against people who used to be our friends because you guys didn't like who used your bathroom. Things as meaningless as that were the reason you elected an obvious psychopath. It's fairly undeniable now. I won't hear your argument otherwise. This will go down as the biggest mistake America has ever made in any living American's lifetime. I have never hoped that I will be wrong more in my life. I really hope so.
If you are 18 to 25, you are cooked. You going to World War III. If you are 26 to 39, you are still cooked because the age cap's at 39. You going to World War III. If you have ADHD, you are cooked. You are going to World War III. If you have diabetes, congratulations, you ain't going to World War III. If you've ever been put in a mental facility, congratulations, you are not going to World War III. If you are in college, I'm sorry, you are cooked. They actually want you more for the draft because they want to put you in a specialized position. You are going to World War III. If you have a master's degree, you are cooked. If you dropped out of high school, you are safe from World War III. They don't want you. If you are a felon, you are not going to World War III. Now is the best time to be a felon. If you are LGBTQ, I'm sorry, you are cooked. You are still going to World War III. Now, if you're transitioning, you are safe. You are not going to World War III. If you are your only mother's son, I am sorry, you are cooked. You are going to World War III. If you are a woman, you are only half cooked because men are required to go first, but at any time Congress can change legislation if they need more people. If you have kids, you are going to World War III. But if you're actively pregnant, you are not going to World War III. If you have major depressive disorder or severe anxiety, you got to be able to prove, it got to be documented, or you are cooked. If it's not documented, you going to World War III. Like and comment for part 2.